Hi, this is Chrissy Tobis for the Blitsy creative team, and today I'm going to show you how I made this card. It looks a little bit like a shirt there with a bow tie on it, using two main products. This IndigoBlu starter kit with the glue and the Megaflakes, along with this stamp set from My Favorite Things. It's called Perfect Ties. And there's a bunch of cute little bow ties and regular ties on there, along with some cute sentiments. And I know that this kind of came out before Father's Day, but I actually got this set well after Father's Day, and I use it for other things. The sentiments that are on there are great for everything besides Father's Day as well. So this is the IndigoBlu. It's a starter set. And I have two sets of flakes in there, but it comes with one set of flakes. It comes with the palette knife that's in there, the foam, the scrubby, there's glue it comes with, and then instructions. So this is a really quick and easy way to create a gilded look on your card. And a gilded is like really shiny, gold, sparkly, but smooth to the touch. So I'm going to show you how I go about getting that look. You just need any type of stamp, along with everything in the starter kit. Now, the instructions in the starter kit recommend taking that foam and cutting it down, but I didn't want to do that, and so I had tested this previously, and all I do is I put the glue on and then I wash it off as soon as I'm done stamping. So when I wash my stamp, I also wash this little foam pad off, and it dries really quick, so you can use it again really quickly. So all I'm doing is I'm putting some glue onto the pad, and then I'm using the palette knife to spread it out a little bit, and then just tap your stamp lightly on there. You almost just want to kiss it. You don't want too much glue. You want to make sure that you have enough to cover, but you don't want so much that it's, you know, extra and sticky, like kind of bubbling up. So you can't really see it. I mean, obviously it's clear glue, so it's hard to see. But I just stamped it on there really quick, and then I went and I cleaned off my stamp immediately with warm water, and then I also cleaned off that pad also with warm water. So now I just grabbed a little shoebox I have, and I put it in there. You can use a catch tray, or I mean, you can just do it on your surface, but this does get kind of messy. So I'm just kind of putting the flakes inside the shoebox there on it. You just want to make sure that you have everything covered. You can see that that bow tie is kind of there. It's covered by flakes, but that's okay. And then you just want to take that little scrubby that comes in the set, and you just kind of gently rub the excess flakes off, and you end up with what you stamped. So you can see I stamped the bow tie, and I ended up with it. So you don't have to use solid stamps. You don't have to use clear stamps. You can use red rubber. You can use any type of stamp you have. I mean, it can even have lines, dots, patterns, whatever. Obviously, the thicker, the better it's going to show up with your flakes in here. But like I said, you can do something, let's say you have something and you don't want to color it in and it's outlines. You can definitely use the glue, press it down, you know, clean it right away, put the flakes on there and scrub it off, and it will work. You could even do sentiments. So I chose the bow ties are cool. So there's a reason why I bought the stamp set after Father's Day. Bow ties are cool is one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite TV shows, Doctor Who. So as soon as I saw this set, I was in love with it, because my daughter and I say that to each other all the time. We're so nerdy, I know. But I was so excited that this set came out. So this card is actually an homage to Doctor Who, because he always wore a bow tie, and lots of times, I think all the time, with suspenders. So what I did is I cut small strips there. That's from the Lawn Fawn Let's Polka, and I'm making those kind of look like suspenders. So what I do is, instead of lining it right to the edge of that panel, I let it overhang just a little bit, and then I take my scissors afterwards and cut it off. That way it's exactly flush with the edge, because sometimes that stuff's kind of hard to line up, and I didn't want any white space at the top or bottom. So this is just a little bit easier. Just let that overhang happen and then just cut it off. Any tape runner will do. The tape runner I'm using is not the one that you have to use. Any of them work. I actually really like Tombow as well. I just didn't have any on hand. So you can see I'm just kind of trimming that off. The sentiment I stamped in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, just so it would be nice and crisp. And so now I also, I want to create like a background behind the shirt, and because it is all about like science fiction and time travel and space and everything like that, I'm going to add some stars to the background. So I have the Lawn Fawn Blue Sky set that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to grab the stars from that set, and I'm going to stamp them in gold and Memento's London Fog, which is a gray. I just kind of wanted to keep with the theme of the colors I had going on, so I had like the gold and silvers from the bow tie, which I also felt like was very kind of like space science fiction-y, so that's why I did that. And then the gray stripes. So like I said, I wanted to keep with that same color theme. What I'm doing is just grabbing the star and just got them on my acrylic block. I've got 2 of them here, and I'm going to use 2 different sizes just to create a little bit of interest, like kind of making my own pattern paper, but it's actually pretty simple. There's not much to it. It's just outlines of stars. If you recreate this card, I used the smallest star in gold, which was a solid star, and then the gray one, the bigger one, that's an outline. So, you know, you can create any background you want. I mean, you could do dots or stripes or whatever. You don't have to use these exact same stars or patterns that I'm creating. So I just kind of went around the edge. There was no point in stamping in the center because the panel that we made that has the bow tie on it along with the sentiment, that's going to cover everything up. So I just kind of went around the edges, you know, inked them up and just kind of went with it where I thought stuff would look good. Now, I also don't have it in the video. There's a few finishing touches I did after the fact that I'll show in the picture again. That I added sleeves and I added buttons. And so for the sleeves, all I did was I took a square punch and I just cut it, and I cut the square in half after I punched on white cardstock, and I made that look like the sleeves. And then for the buttons, I just used a silver Viva pen just so it popped up a little bit. I mean, you could use stickles, you could use a marker, you could use real buttons, whatever you wanted to do. I just used the silver because that's the one that I had on hand. So there you go. I'm kind of just checking it to make sure, like, oh, I just wanted to see, are my stars placed right? Okay, that one was kind of off, so the one would be covered. So I moved it over just a little bit by stamping it again. So that'll be, the one you can't see is covered up, so it's fine. So then I just use a really strong adhesive. You want to make sure that you're always using strong adhesives when you're assembling your card, especially if you're mailing them. You don't want that to fall apart in the mail. Send a card and somebody opens the envelope and it's fallen apart, so that's a bad thing. So make sure you always have really strong and good adhesive on hand. And Blitsy always has great adhesives in the everyday section. So here you can kind of see that gilded look that I'm talking about, that nice shiny, but it's flat. It's, you know, it doesn't come off the surface too much. And then here's a close-up. You can see the buttons that I added with that silver pen, and then there is the entire thing. So don't forget to go to Blitsy's blog. We have tons of projects there. Thanks.